Hello and welcome everybody, it's Merrill and I'm coming to you from the metal detecting mobile. It is the last day of September 2019 and the last day of every month means that there's going to be a new episode of Becoming a Millionaire Metal Detecting. And this is the series that answers the question, what if you took all of the coins that you found metal detecting and you deposited them into your brokerage account and you invested them into stock and also found other ways to monetize the practice of metal detecting, such as building a YouTube channel or scrapping. So let's launch today's episode by looking back at what we've pulled this year. And the exact number is $408.27. And that is through the end of August. We're going to add the September numbers to that. So this chart is telling me something interesting. It's telling me that the primary source of revenue for this project has been the clad revenue, the coins that I find metal detecting. But the fastest growing has been channel revenue. And it made me wonder, how far could I go if I gave the coins that I found time to develop with the power of compounding interest and let's say 20 years or 40 years. What if I pulled $1,000 a year for that amount of time? How much money would I make? I figured that out. So let's take the 20-year estimate first. My current age is 40 years old. And if I did this for 20 years, and God forbid, because I love life and I want to live longer than this, let's say that I had to stop metal detecting at 60. And every year I pulled $1,000 exactly in clad, and I had an interest. I was able to get a return on my investments of 10%. So wait a second, what is 10% of 1,000? That's right, it's $100. So I went and I put an Excel formula in here. At the end of the year, with interest, without putting anything else in, it is $1,100. Then I did year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6. So let's say I did this only for 1 year. Forget the rest of this. Just look at column 2. That would mean in 20 years, that $1,000, if I get 10% interest on it, that becomes $6,727.50. But let's take a deeper dive into it. Now, we're talking about a time period 20 to 60 years. Now, 41, that would give the money 19 years to mature. So that would mean for the second year, if I did that in 2020 also, and it matured for 19 years, it would be $6,115. I did that for all the other years, with the final one being 2039, when I am 60 years old, and it doesn't have time to mature. It's just the $1,000 that I put in, so no 10% for that. But I did this, and it turns out to be $64,002.50. So we're talking about putting $20,000 in over the span of 20 years, and we would be able to get $64,002.50. Keep in mind, this is all clad. This is none of the good stuff. I like to hoard that. Now let's look even bigger. So over 40 years, the same formula. Look at the triangle that happens here. First, we're talking 40 years of maturing. If we give that $1,000 40 years to mature, $1,000 in clad pulled, by the end of 40 years, that $1,000, getting 10% per year, which is the tough part of it, by the way, would get to $45,000, $259.26. Now let's see, if I did this for 40 years, meaning until I am 80 years old, I would have $487,851.81. So that's almost $500,000, which is great, but Remember, the name of this series is Becoming a Millionaire Metal Detecting. How are we going to get the rest of that? Well, the answer sure seems to be channel revenue, early on at least. You've probably heard the sentiment, do what you love and find a way to make a living at it. This series is perhaps my attempt at doing just that. And although metal detecting is a relatively small niche on YouTube, we have 7-year-olds making $11 million per year in revenue from YouTube opening gifts. So let's give it a try. So how is my channel growing? Well, over the past month, it's been really good. I'm up 310 subscribers, and I've made about $55 in revenue. And for the year, my views have grown quite a bit. So I'm hopeful I could continue to grow this. I realize that $54 is not $11 million, but it's a start. So I updated the chart and I'm now at $463.22. So now let's see how much I pulled from the ground this month. Let's go to Coinstar. $96.14 plus the $13 that I found at Orchard Beach brings our monthly total to $109.14. September was a record month, having pulled in $164.09. My total for the year is now $572.36, and I'm within striking range of my $1,000 goal. So 1,000 minus 572.36 equals $427.64. If you divide that number by 3, you get $142.55. That's what I need to pull for the last 3 months of the year to reach $1,000. So let's take a moment to see how my stocks are performing. What I agreed to with my wife is that she would get the Coinstar gift certificate and I would take that same amount and invest it in the stock market. So this has actually been a really good month for my stocks. It has been a ride downwards since March, but it seems to have turned around. And although it's off of its highs, it got back above $4,000. It's definitely up for the month, and it looks like a nice little turning point there. Individually speaking, I have one stock, Fannie Mae, that's been doing spectacularly well. It's up 145%. Unfortunately, I have another one that is down 56%. and that's the bigger position. But again, I'm trying not to panic. I do look at balance sheets, and I'm pretty comfortable with where they are. This was another stock, AVO, that has gone back up. It was down. A lot of these companies are small, illiquid, and they need time to develop, but they have game-changing products, disruptive products, as they like to say in investing. Another thing that I'm doing before I invest in anything else that is really risky, I am building positions in Spider. The overall trajectory of Spider over the last, which covers the S&P 500, that has been about 10%. So, that is the 10% right there. That is the benchmark. So I'm going to be sure to get positions in that as well. And, as you can see, it's somewhat at its high, which is why I've resisted, but I want to build that position too. So let's try to have a little foresight here. I'm really enjoying this process. One, it has made me enjoy digging clad. Sometimes when I get a nice coin or, no, not a ring, I love rings. I'm like, I can't put this towards my total. So it's made me be like, oh, I don't want clad to. This is something that I could really look forward to and use. And, maybe if I'm right about some of those companies, that could really take off. One of them is less than $1 now, and that's 4 quarters. Find 4 quarters. I got another share of stock in, a company that could potentially grow that I'm comfortable with the balance sheet on. So, again, we're being careful. I'm making sure that I get the S&P 500 Spider also, but I want to take chances too, and I want to get that 10%. So I'm in it to win it. I fully intend, number one, on getting the $1,000 for this year. There's no doubt in my mind that that is going to happen. Becoming a millionaire, that's a long shot. That's going to take years. But it starts with loving the process and having fun with the process. All of you, if you're inspired to do the same thing, you go right ahead. I hope that somebody thinks it's a good idea out there and wants to emulate it. Imitation's the ultimate form of flattery, as they say. If this is something that could make you look forward to digging some clad and doing something good with it, then you go for it. That's really cool. Anyway, this series updates on the last day of every month. You better believe I'm going to have more than the $142 for next month. Anyway, until next month for this series, and in between, you can have a lot more videos coming out. Tomorrow, the first day of every month, I do the top 1,000 now metal detecting channels on YouTube. So be sure to tune into that. Also, yeah, lots of hunts. I'm having fun with this. I hope you could tell. It's good to be back on YouTube and doing metal detecting now, which is really an important part of my life right now. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you very soon.